U.S. Market Brief is here, sharp, short, and to the point. Subscribe now and like to support us and never miss a market move. Here are the brief highlights of today's top stories. Trump tariffs that are voided by, and ones that are safe from, Friday's appeals court ruling. CDC asks all staff to return to office Sept, 15, 5 weeks after shooting at headquarters. Here's what it really means for Trump to get control of the Federal Reserve Board. Fate of Fed Governor Lisa Cook still up in the air after court hearing on Trump firing bid. Powerball jackpot hits $1 billion. Here's the after-tax payout in every U.S. state. Spirit Airlines files for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection for the second time in a year. Look inside the $17 million Brooklyn penthouse Denzel Washington calls home in Spike Lee's new film, Highest to Lowest. I'm a personal finance reporter and I recently bought my wedding dress. Here's what I wish I knew sooner. We shouldn't ignore this. Longtime investor Rebecca Patterson warns Trump could damage Fed independence. AI may eat software, but several tech names just wrapped a huge week. Inaugural Essence HBCU Classic football game to kick off Saturday in Boston. Elliott sees opportunities to create value at warehouse right Rexford Industrial. From cheap food and curry houses to upscale dining, the rise of Indian restaurants in the U.S. Other nations mandate retirement savings, the U.S. does not. Here's why it matters. The stock market had a tough week but a great month. Here's what happened. Now, let's dive deeper into the details. A federal appeals court ruled against President Trump this week, declaring most of his reciprocal tariffs illegal.
The court found that President Trump exceeded his authority by imposing tariffs on almost every country.
These tariffs, part of his April 2 announcement, were initially set to impact about 69% of United States goods imports.
If the ruling stands, the impact would be reduced to roughly 16%.
The ruling creates uncertainty around a key part of President Trump's economic agenda.
The tariffs, some as high as 50%, will remain until October 14, allowing time for an appeal.
The affected tariffs include those announced on April 2 and previously imposed levies on Mexico, Canada, and China.
President Trump cited the 1977 International Emergency Economic Powers Act as justification.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention expects staff back in offices by September 15.
This return comes 5 weeks after a deadly shooting at the agency headquarters in Atlanta.
CDC Chief Operating Officer Linda Chapman told staff in an email their safety is the top priority.
She stated the CDC is taking steps to restore the workplace and resume on-site operations.
All staff are expected back by September 15, according to the email.
Alternative workspaces will be provided for those whose areas are still impacted by the shooting.
The CDC has made significant progress on repairs at the Roybal campus.
A response and recovery management team is working to address staff concerns.
President Donald Trump is attempting to remove Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook.
This action could significantly shift the historically apolitical Federal Reserve.
President Trump has increasingly challenged the Federal Reserve since January.
He has criticized interest rates, threatened to remove Chair Jerome Powell, and now seeks to unseat Governor Cook.
President Trump aims to reform the Federal Reserve, which he blames for post-pandemic inflation.
He believes lower interest rates could manage the national debt and support the housing market.
However, legal scholars, financial experts, and current and former Federal Reserve officials express concern.
They argue that President Trump's actions may politicize the Federal Reserve and weaken the United States financial system.
Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook appeared in court Friday, seeking to prevent President Donald Trump from firing her.
Judge Cobb did not issue a ruling after the hearing.
Cook's lawyer argued against claims of mortgage fraud made by Federal Housing Finance Agency Director Bill Pulte.
He asserted that Pulte's statements should not justify Cook's removal.
Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell requested the judge maintain the current situation, allowing Cook to remain in her position.
This allows Cook to participate in upcoming interest rate discussions.
The Department of Justice argued that firing a Fed governor is at the president's discretion.
Cook's lawsuit challenges this interpretation of presidential power.
The Powerball jackpot has reached $1 billion ahead of Saturday night's drawing.
This marks the sixth largest jackpot in Powerball history and the first billion-dollar prize since April 2024.
The odds of winning the jackpot are 1 in 292,201,338.
Matching all 5 white balls without the Powerball wins $1 million.
Winners can choose between a 30-year annuity or a lump sum cash option.
24% of winnings are withheld immediately for federal taxes.
Additional taxes will likely be due depending on your tax bracket.
Most states also tax lottery winnings at rates ranging from 2.5% to 10.9%.
Spirit Airlines filed for bankruptcy protection for the second time this year.
The budget carrier previously exited Chapter 11 in March.
Spirit exchanged debt for equity but avoided larger cost-cutting measures.
The airline now plans to reduce its network and shrink its fleet.
These cuts are expected to save hundreds of millions of dollars annually.
CEO Dave Davis stated more work is needed to position Spirit for the future.
Spirit listed assets and liabilities between $1 billion and $10 billion.
The airline reassured customers that booked flights will continue.
Denzel Washington's character in Spike Lee's new film lives in a luxurious Brooklyn penthouse.
This 5-bedroom, 4.5-bathroom apartment spans 4,928 square feet on the 32nd floor of the Olympia Dumbo building.
It offers breathtaking views of New York City and a private 552-square-foot terrace.
The penthouse was listed for sale at $17.5 million, down from $19.5 million earlier this year.
3 bedrooms have private bathrooms, and there is a laundry room with a washer and dryer.
Key elevator access ensures privacy, according to Carl A. Eckroth, an associate broker at Douglas Elliman.
The Olympia Dumbo, despite its 33 stories, houses only 76 apartments, creating a boutique feel.
Building amenities include a game lounge, bowling alley, spin studio, and an outdoor pool.
I recently bought my wedding dress and learned some valuable lessons.
Timing your dress purchase is crucial to avoid extra costs.
I almost incurred rush fees of $500 by waiting too long.
That would have been 20% of my total dress budget.
Experts recommend starting dress shopping 12 months before the wedding.
Ideally, purchase the dress 8 to 10 months in advance.
This allows ample time for alterations and avoids rush fees.
I was fortunate to avoid rush fees by deciding on the spot.
President Donald Trump is attempting to remove Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook.
Longtime investor Rebecca Patterson warns this action could threaten the Federal Reserve's independence.
Patterson, a senior fellow at the Council on Foreign Relations, has extensive experience analyzing political and policy impacts on global markets.
She cautions that politicizing the Federal Reserve could undermine its authority and have lasting economic repercussions.
Patterson notes that countries losing institutional integrity often experience weaker stock markets and higher inflation.
They also frequently see increasing long-term yields, currency depreciation, and reduced foreign direct investment.
Patterson warns that the United States is not immune to these consequences despite its economic strength.
She believes removing Cook would likely be Trump's first step towards appointing loyal policymakers who favor lower rates.
MongoDB stock had its best week ever, leading a rally in enterprise technology companies benefiting from the artificial intelligence boom.
MongoDB rallied 44%, Pure Storage soared 33%, its second best gain, and Snowflake jumped 21%.
Autodesk also rose 8.4%.
Since late 2022, big artificial intelligence winners have included NVIDIA, cloud vendors like Microsoft, Google, and Oracle, and companies selling graphics processing units like Dell and Supermicro Computer.
Wall Street has been waiting to see if artificial intelligence will benefit or displace other cloud software and enterprise technology companies.
This week's quarterly results and executive commentary eased some concerns, showing artificial intelligence's financial benefits are trickling down.
MongoDB Chief Executive Officer Dev Ittycheria told CNBC that enterprise artificial intelligence service rollouts are happening slowly.
MongoDB, which sells cloud database services, saw revenue rise 24% to $591 million, exceeding analyst estimates.
Historically black colleges and universities football is coming to Harvard Stadium this Saturday.
The inaugural Essence HBCU Classic will feature the Morehouse College Maroon Tigers versus the Johnson C.
Smith University Golden Bulls.
The game is the centerpiece of a 4-day Labor Day weekend event.
The weekend will also include a pep rally, tailgate, battle of the bands, and a step show.
Organizers hope to create an atmosphere similar to an HBCU homecoming.
Boston was chosen for its large HBCU alumni base, and Harvard Stadium for its historical significance.
The event aims to highlight the achievements of HBCU students and alumni.
The game also offers a chance for Morehouse and Johnson C.
Smith to expand their national presence.
Elliott Investment Management has taken a position in Rexford Industrial Realty.
Rexford is an internally managed industrial REIT focused on the Southern California market.
The industrial rights space has benefited from rising e-commerce, which increases warehousing needs.
Southern California is an attractive location due to land scarcity and proximity to ports.
Rexford is domiciled in Maryland, a state known for management-friendly regulations.
The company has a 7-person board with a majority, including 2 co-CEOs, serving for over 10 years.
Since its 2013 IPO, Rexford has significantly increased its share count and debt.
Rexford now trades at a discount to net asset value, and its stock price has declined.
Indian cuisine in the United States is evolving from basic takeout to upscale dining.
Chef Vikas Khanna, a Michelin-starred chef, has witnessed this transformation firsthand.
Initially, Khanna focused on familiar dishes like butter chicken to cater to American tastes.
However, inspired by Anthony Bourdain, he shifted to showcasing authentic Indian flavors.
Khanna's restaurant, Bungalow, is a prime example of this upscale trend.
Reservations sell out rapidly, with nightly waitlists exceeding 1,000 people.
Fine dining, including Indian cuisine, is experiencing a post-pandemic resurgence.
Younger generations are increasingly interested in exploring global flavors.
Retirement funding varies significantly across different countries.
The United States relies heavily on voluntary savings plans like 401ks.
Other countries utilize mandatory contributions or traditional pensions.
The Mercer CFA Institute Global Pension Index considers these structural differences in its rankings.
This index aims to provide a comprehensive view of global retirement systems.
It analyzes public and private systems to assess retirement outcomes.
The United States received a C+ rating and ranked 29th out of 48 systems in 2024.
This rating indicates a solid system with significant risks that need to be addressed.
The stock market experienced a challenging week but achieved a strong month overall.
The S&P 500 declined slightly over 0.6% from Thursday's record high, ending its 4-week winning streak.
Despite this, the S&P 500 gained over 2% in August, marking 4 consecutive months of gains.
Investors likely secured profits before the Labor Day weekend, particularly after positive earnings from Nvidia.
Nvidia reported strong results and a positive outlook Wednesday evening.
However, Wall Street scrutinized the numbers, causing Nvidia's stock to fall nearly 1% on Thursday and over 3% on Friday.
Nvidia, with its substantial market capitalization, influenced the overall market decline on Friday.
Both weekly and monthly, Nvidia's stock dropped over 2%.
That's a wrap on this episode of US Market Brief. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next time with more stock market updates, earnings highlights, and insights from Wall Street.